Welcome! Today I'm going to be starting a new series with Moriah Elizabeth's first prompt book, Create This Book. Let's get started. First, I'll be checking off the stars on page 1, which start by saying to customize the edges of the book and the cover. In honor of fall, but mostly Halloween, I wanted to make the prompts a little darker and spooky. So naturally, I chose black for the edges. I used my number 100 Copic alcohol marker. I didn't press too hard with the marker though because the paper is really thin and it soaks up a lot of ink really fast. But I still like the effect I got. For my cover, I used alcohol ink straight out of the bottle in red and a Tim Holtz ink blender. I love the intensity of alcohol ink, and it's permanent, so I knew it would work on the cover. I went ahead and dabbed it on, making sure to create splotchy edges. I really wanted it to look like blood. My cover ended up pretty simple, but I really liked how it turned out. Very different to my Create This Book 2 cover. Speaking of, if you're familiar with my Create This Book 2 series, I use stamps to complete those prompts, but not these. It's gonna be all me for this book. Moving on to the cover page and keeping in the Halloween spirit, I really wanted this page to give toxic vibes. So I colored the title like Toxic Waste. I love how the different Prismacolor greens came together. I also created some monsters, like they were coming to life as a result of the toxic waste. I wanted them to look a little misshapen and deformed, so I made their eyes and mouths uneven and colored them in with black to give them an unsettling, eerie feeling. And to deepen the black of the mouth and the eyes, I used my Prismacolor colorless blender pencil. And that was it. Next up is page 1. Well, first I started by checking off the stars that I assumed I had finished, but it actually turned out I didn't do the copyright page, and that was one of the prompts to complete. Well, I'll have to do it next time. Anywho, I really wanted this page to be pretty, so I sketched out a pumpkin patch border and outlined it with my Staedtler pigment liners. Then I colored them in with my Prismacolor pencils. I should mention that I am Mod Podging any page with colored pencil on it so that it doesn't rub off or transfer onto the page next to it. That's a very helpful tip from Moriah Elizabeth. I really like how this page turned out. It was kind of inspired by my Cinderella page in my Create This Book 2 series. If you don't know the page that I'm talking about, I did it a while back, but I'll link it up in the iCard if you want to check it out. And here it is, all done. On to pages 42 and 43. The prompt says to create a collection, and I thought, what's creepier and more Halloween than vintage dolls? So that's what I drew. I started with my sketch off camera. If you guys want to see me sketch, let me know, but that means a longer video, and I don't know if you guys are up for it. Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious. So I drew my sketch off camera, and then I lined everything out again with my Staedtler pigment liners. However, this time I wanted to use my Copic alcohol markers to color in these 2 pages. So what I did was, on a separate sheet of printer paper, which isn't great to blend on with alcohol markers, but I was just gonna do flat colors anyway, so I figured it'd be fine. I had so much fun drawing out each doll. And honestly, I might be biased because they're my own creations, but I think they're cuter than creepy. What do you think? Do you think I'm just being biased? It could be. It very well could be. Alright. I do have to admit that their eyes do kind of freak me out a little bit. I guess maybe I did achieve my goal after all. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know. I'm torn. I'm kind of really digging having a theme for my layouts. Maybe I'll make this book the seasonal book. That could be kind of fun. Maybe I'll bring it back out for winter. I do have a lot of series going on right now. I can't help it. I just really like art journals. They're so much fun. It's my guilty pleasure, watching other YouTube videos. I love them. The ones that have a list of all of the different artistic journals that they have. That's how I find more and more and more, and then I want to start even more series. I gotta say, I really enjoy my YouTube channel. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Let me know if you do by leaving me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you guys didn't like it. But if you leave a thumbs down, you better leave a comment also letting me know what I could be doing better. Deal? Deal. All right, I'm just about done. And I have to say, I probably should have made their outfits a little bit darker to go with the Halloween theme, but I just didn't even think about it. I wanted to make them really colorful and bright. I think the eyes still give Halloween. Yeah. To put it in the book, I just folded the page in half and used my Kokuyo dot liner to glue it in. Next, I moved on to pages 140 and 141. The prompt says, create a collage. Collect paper scraps or pictures and glue them all over these 2 pages. So I started by going through my stash of magazines. I feel like everyone has a stash of old magazines in their home. No? Just me? Okay, well, I went through my stash. I started by looking for solid colors that I could use in the background. And although it looks like I basically cut up that purple page and then reassembled it, I did make slight changes, okay? I just made it so that it wouldn't stick out of the page. So my goal for this layout was to make it kind of give you the heebie-jeebies, make it kind of freaky looking. So after the background was done, I started by chopping out a face from the magazine. And after I found my face, I started cutting out little features, little facial features like single eyes, single ears, and it all just kind of came together. And it really, I thought, in my opinion, of course, I thought I really accomplished my goal of making it kind of freaky and heebie-jeebie-ish. But it was kind of missing something, and so I brought out my Posca acrylic markers and outlined the face in white to really make it pop. And then I wanted it to be a little bit more graphic also. So I went in with really bright colors like the pink and the yellow and the green, and just colored in some patterns. And I think it came together perfectly. Next are pages 92 and 93, which instruct to create color combinations. I knew right away I wanted to make ice cream cones for this layout, but I wasn't sure how to make them go with the Halloween theme. So I thought about it for a while, and I figured, let's just throw scary faces and call it good. So per usual, I started with my sketch and pencil, then outlined with my Staedtler pigment liners. I also wanted to use my Copic alcohol markers, but this time I didn't want to bother with an extra piece of paper. I'm kind of worried about my book getting too chunky and falling apart, so I decided to just paint directly into the book. But I wanted to be a little bit smart about it, so I did put a piece of cardstock in between the page I was coloring in and the one behind it, just so it wouldn't sink in through so many pages. However, I accidentally went through 2 pages. I didn't actually put it between one page and another. I put it between 2 pages and another. So it went through a little bit extra, but that's fine. I'll just use an extra piece of paper for those pages. As for the color combinations, I wasn't thinking about it too hard, but I did want to try more muted colors with bright colors together, and I actually really like how it turned out. I even went in with my Posca pen and drew in some highlight marks, which I think really made it look special. For the next layout on pages 74 and 75, the prompt says, create a page of quotes. Fill this page with inspirational quotes. Well, I don't know about inspirational, but my quote was, double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Ooh, perfect for my Halloween theme. My illustration, obviously, was directly inspired by the quote. I drew a cauldron and some bottles with potion ingredients. I have a bottle of arsenic, which of course is a classic, a bottle of ghost tears, which I thought should be very rare, a bottle of vampire blood, which I'm thinking is pretty expensive, and a bottle of spider extract, which I kind of think of like vanilla extract. It's kind of an essential ingredient in most tonics and potions. As you can tell, I had a blast creating this page. My imagination went wild thinking about Halloween. I love this time of year, no joke. As for the drawing and coloring process, I use my Prismacolor pencils, and for the potion bottles, or the ingredient bottles I should say, I use my blender pencil, but for the cauldron, I wanted the texture because I thought the cauldron would be made out of kind of like cast iron, so I didn't want to blend that out. Funny enough, I made the potion inside the cauldron green, and it made me think that it might be the toxic waste from the cover page. I really let my imagination run wild with this layout. Honestly, that's my favorite part of art, the storytelling and the creativity. It just encompasses everything that I love. So after the cauldron and the green potion, I just had the last two bottles to color in, the vampire blood and the spider extract, and that finished up this layout, which is the last one for today. Let's do a quick flip through of the prompts I completed today. I decorated the cover with the blood of my enemies. I gave life to these little monsters. Page 1 was my pretty fall page. Then I created a collection of creepy dolls. I tore apart and put back together this face via collage. I created color combinations with scary faces. And finally created a quote page. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.